Hi, my name is Paul Evans. I'm part of the Introduction to Terrorism class. This is the ID. I'm a transient student, so I don't have a picture for my ID. I only have the regular old card. I go to Weber, so I'm only here for the summer. But the suicide or the terrorist attack I'm doing is a suicide bombing that was in Kabul, Afghanistan, on the CIA base camp. The base camp was called Chapman. The suicide bomber was wearing an explosive vest. It killed at least 8 American civilians. Most of them were CIA. It was in a remote base in southeast Afghanistan on December 30th, 2009. This attack on the CIA base was the single deadliest episode for the spy agency since 9/11. It also dealt a significant blow to the organization. The CIA's only lost 90 officers since 1947. I mean, we had 8 from this one, and then you had the ones from 9/11. It was, we're kind of going downhill there, but there was a CIA official, he was a former one, said the 8 agency employees had been killed, but they were cautioned that often, like, reports from the field were often they were incorrect, so they didn't know that it was true or not. So the final number dead, it could be higher than 8 American civilians, but at least they know at least 6 American civilians were wounded from it. They don't know how many of the ones that are dead were full-time CIA agents or they were just contract employees. So the attack occurred as the CIA was steadily increasing its presence in Afghanistan and Pakistan. They were sometimes sending operatives to remote bases instead of heavily fortifying embassies in the Kabul and Islamabad, Pakistan. So the Kabul is where it's close to where Ghost is and where the base was at. So the CIA it's the forefront of American counterterrorism operations in South Asia. It's launching a steady barrage of drone attacks against the Al-Qaeda and the Taliban, and so in the mountains in the border of Afghanistan and Pakistan. So Ghost Province, which is where the base is, not Kabul. The Coast Province is where the base is. It's bordering Pakistan, and it's a prime area for militants with links to the Taliban and Al-Qaeda who use Pakistan's lawless tribal areas as a base to stage their insurgencies. So, on the basis of the border of Afghanistan and Pakistan, they gather intelligence in both countries and generally have ready to access local operatives who can move seamlessly across the border without any trouble so they can get the terrorists on either side. The Ghost area has been one of several throughways that the Al-Qaeda have used since the 90s to move back and forth between the two countries so they can do their dirty work on both sides. And there was actually a large Qaeda camp south of Ghost, but that was until 1998. But its inhabitants were forced to move into Pakistan after the United States used missiles and bombed the camp in response to the attacks on American embassies in East Africa. So it was a long time, and 9/11 was an attack on us, and then this was another attack on us from them. But there have been frequent attacks against American bases at Ghost, but suicide bombers don't normally make it into the main gate, so this is why this one was crucial, because this guy was a double agent, well, technically a triple agent, because he was a Jordanian. He was in the Jordanian military area, so he had intel from there. Then he said that he had intel on the Al-Qaeda, and that is how he ended up blowing up at the CIA base from the suicide bombing. So he was basically a triple agent, which is, surprising because you don't see many of those. So there was a NATO official, and he said that the bomber managed to elude security and reach an area near the base's gym. It was not clear whether the bomber, who apparently died in the blast, entered the gym. So they don't know if he died or not. They're assuming he died, but they don't know for certain. Um, the agency was in the process of notifying family members of the officers killed in the attack. The names of them, those might never be publicly disclosed because some of the officers may have been working undercover. Because, sometimes CIA people, they don't know if they're actually CIA. Because they just, you can't tell people that because then their families get in trouble. Like, families could get into, big things. I know, probably doesn't make too much sense, but it is. And that's a little report on the bombing or the terrorist attack that I'm going to be doing.